Good morning. My name is Raylan Rome, and I welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent, where we are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We are diverse in faith, ethnicity, history, spirituality, but aligned in our desire to make a difference to better ourselves and our community. I'm the co-president of our youth group called Unitarian Universalist Youth for Justice, or UUYJ, and we will be leading the entire service to share our experiences from our cultural immersion and service trip to the Appalachian South Folklife Center in Pipestem, West Virginia. 22 youth and advisors attended the trip, 16 from Kent, 5 from the First UU Church of Columbus, and 1 from the UU Fellowship of Wayne County and Worcester. I don't think I said that right. So I think it's Worcester, not Worcester. 5 years ago, when we first started the youth group here at this church, we named our group UU Youth for Justice because we wanted to inspire action and activism in each other, and with all of you, to tackle local and national issues. When we go on these trips, we do not go to be saviors who swoop in to help others. We go to immerse ourselves in different cultures, to take ourselves out of our comfort zones and deeply connect with people and experiences that are different from our day-to-day living. You will hear this morning that in West Virginia, we certainly use our hands to help with immediate needs, but you will also hear that we opened our hearts to build relationships with the people very different from ourselves to truly experience the interconnectedness of all people, to see people in new ways and listen to their stories and how all forms of oppression are harmful to the entire web of existence. So welcome to everyone here today, particularly anyone new this morning. We encourage everyone to open yourselves up to new discoveries this morning so you leave these doors transformed, just like we did in West Virginia. And be sure to stay after the service for coffee hour because the youth will be in the back to talk with you more. Now, as we enter into the service, let's quiet our busy minds and take a deep breath in. In a world often marked by division and tension, we gather here to be in a safe space of hope and unity where we work hard to make sure our actions match our message of love and connection.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Franklin Wakefield, and I'm the other co-president of our youth group, UUYJ. Before I share about our work and cultural experiences in West Virginia, I want you to have a full understanding of the history and purpose of the Appalachian South Folklife Center, who hosted us for the week. The center was founded by Don and Connie West in 1967. Connie West was an artist, and Don was a labor organizer, educator, preacher, and poet. Don West is best known as the co-founder of the Highlander Folk School in Tennessee, which was created to teach Appalachians about their progressive history and to train activists and union organizers. The Highlander Folk School helped train and support the nonviolent works of Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King, and John Lewis. Don and Connie West then moved north to West Virginia to start a second center, the Appalachian Folklife Center, to celebrate Appalachian heritage, promote community service, and provide educational and cultural programs. So for our youth group to pick a place to learn more about how to not just talk about social justice, but to actually act on it, this was the place for us. We participated in the center's service work program that assists families in the area. All summer groups go to the Folklife Center to learn about Appalachia through experience with art, music, and storytelling, while also performing volunteer work for folks in the area facing significant and sometimes unbearable hardship. The center is situated in the southern part of West Virginia for a reason. The decline of industries such as coal mining have led to the region consistently being ranked among the poorest in the nation, with some of the highest drug-induced overdose rates. Strip mining has caused unhealthy water systems and decimated the land. These challenges felt overwhelming sometimes, but we also learned through our cultural experiences and interacting with the most resilient and compassionate people that this region has the most beautiful people, mountains, countryside, art, and music anywhere in the country. Throughout the week, we worked at Carliana and Woody Meek's house far up in the mountains outside of Hinton, West Virginia. The road to get to their house was full of switchbacks. We prayed every day that we didn't meet another car coming down the mountain at the same time. The Meeks are an amazing older couple who both served our country but are now facing economic and significant health issues that have prevented them from keeping their house in good repair. We worked hard every day on massive landscaping and removal of overgrown bushes and trees, siding repair, rebuilding stone walls so back doors can open again. We organized sheds, moved items off of their front porch and front yard to their storage sheds, moved chicken coops, rebuilt gardens, and gave their house 2 full coats of paint. The Meeks' home and property were completely transformed in 1 short week. But more importantly, we want you to listen this morning to our stories about the relationships formed with the Meeks and others through taking the time to hear their stories and to listen to understand, not to respond. We challenge you today to join us in our journey to West Virginia to discover your own role for the well-being of the beautifully diverse web of humanity that exists, even with people who it seems as though we have nothing in common.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Vincent Davidson, and I am from the First UU Church of Columbus. Welcome. Thank you. We gather this morning as one community, a community united by common ideals: love, justice, diversity, freedom, mutual care, equity. Yet look around. Look at the faces of those around you. Each face represents an individual. Every one of us with our own story, needs, strengths, and faults. We light our chalice today, honoring our common connection and also the uniqueness that lives within each of us. As I light our shared chalice, I invite those of you at home to light your home chalice. Let's rise in body or in spirit to sing our opening hymn, 150, This Is My Song.
Peace, for let Hello. I would like to invite all of our children and youth up front to join me to read a book together. My name is Olivia Humphrey, and I am from the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Wayne County in Worcester. When we were in West Virginia, we spent... When we were in West Virginia, we spent a week repairing Mr. and Mrs. Meek's house. There were 22 of us all working on the house together. Do you think 22 people working together and fixing and painting a house got more done than just 1 or 2 people? I would like to read a book to you today called We're Better Together that talks about many different ways that we all can be better if we work together. We're better together when we play. We take turns on the swing, play circle games and tag. Together, we have more fun when everyone joins in. We're better together when someone spills. We get the paper towels and the mop. Together, we can clean up quickly as we can. We're better together when our neighbor is sick. We bring soup over and feed her cat. Together, we show how much we care. We're better together when something is lost. We look everywhere. Under the table, behind the chair. Together, we search until someone says, "There you are, fuzzy blanket." We're better together in arts and crafts. Each of us is better at different things. Some are good at letters, some are good at drawing, some are good at painting pictures. Together we create a masterpiece. We're better together at making music. When someone beats the drum, when someone blows the horn, when someone shakes the tambourine. Together, we play a song that gets everyone moving. We're better together when we clean up by the water. We pick up cans, plastic bags, and other litter. Together, we make it safe for the ducks and the fish. We're better together when we see people who need help. We pick up a teddy bear, a rattle, and a book. Together, we send our neighbors on their way. We're better together when it's thundering. We huddle under the kitchen table, all cozy and snug. Together, we hold hands till the storm passes by. We're better together when someone needs a bath. We help fill the tub with sudsy bubbles. Together, we wash and splash till we are squeaky clean. We're better together when it's time for sleep. Even though we're in our own beds, we're joined in our hearts. Together, we wish good things to all of the world. What if we could make the world a better place by working together? We can all find ways to take turns, chip in, share, and love one another. There are more ways to be part of a community than one might imagine. How do you all work together? Would anyone like to share how they work together? Anyone? Weed whacking, yes. Theater. Yeah. Music, yes. Sheds. These are all ways that we can work together to make our world a better place. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Bill Arthur, and I'm one of the adult advisors that went on the trip with these kids, along with two other amazing adult advisors, Alona Urban, who's the co-advisor for the UUYJ here in Kent, and Billy Davidson, who's the advisor for the youth from the UU Church in Columbus. We have learned from our youth that one of the best gifts that we can give ourselves in our busy lives is to slow things down and lean into each other for love, guidance, support, and spiritual growth. Stillness to heal, stillness to grow, stillness to fan your flames of gratitude and compassion. Let us enter a time of silence for a minute.
Life is a mystery that brings many things. Part of our experience is darkness, struggle, and loss. In the spirit of being a community of compassion and care, we take time to share those sorrows that are in our hearts right now. If you're with us on Zoom and have a sorrow, please put it in the chat box.
Shayna Steinhaus would like us, she's remembering with love, UU member Max Grubb, who died 1 year ago. Ellen Duchette would like us to remember a dear neighbor of ours died this week. She had 4 paws and a beautiful white coat. A dear friend of mine, Carrie Jackson, who was an Akron police officer and then a University of Akron police officer, lost a dear, dear friend of his very suddenly this week, who was also on the Akron Police Department for years. It was very sudden, 59, a heart attack in his sleep. So prayers as his friend transitions, and for Carrie as he deals with his grief. Ginny Horvath, Kent City Schools lost a mentor, a teacher, and caring person this week. Concepcion Finotello passed away last week. Concepcion was a friend to several in our congregation and noted as an artist, volunteer, and friend. Okay. Bjorn? We lost our kitten. It passed away.
Life also brings unbridled joy that showers smiles and giggles upon us. In the same way we raise each other up when needing comfort, we raise each other up in celebration and in awe. Once again, if you're on Zoom, please put your joys in the chat box.
Lori, my youngest daughter, Leanne, will be 35 tomorrow. That's a milestone. Mel, thanks to the Riveras for an awesome get-together. Michael Snyder, thanks to whoever found my glasses. Yes, I can appreciate that. Yeah. Nothing on Zoom? Okay. Let us pray. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, forever moving amongst us and within us, we call out your name. We seek to know grace so that we might honor our interconnectedness this morning with each other and those who have gone before us. When we witness suffering in ourselves and the world around us, may we know compassion. And remind us, too, that the experience of suffering does not close us off from the possibility of joy. May we know that our interconnectedness is a miracle, and may it be a refuge for us, felt in the voice of a friend, in the touch of a loved one, and in memories of days spent in good company. May we remain grateful for the goodness we've witnessed and enacted in the world, and may the warmth of our lives together hold us in love as we move into our life's future journeys. May it be so. Amen.
Good morning. My name is Jamie, and I'm an intern for the UUYJ. We chose to sing the popular folk song, 500 Miles Away from Home, today because we learned that it was written by the singer and songwriter Hetty West, who is the daughter of Don and Connie West, the founders of the Appalachian South Folklife Center. The song later became famous when Peter, Paul, and Mary started to perform it.
I'll be home tomorrow night, for I'm coming down the line on number 9. Number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9, for I'm coming down the line on number 9.
Not a shirt on my back, not a penny to my name. Lord, I can't go back home this away. This away, this away, this away, this away. Lord, I can't go back home this away.
If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles.
Good morning. My name is Liam Davidson, and I am from the First UU Church of Columbus. Our first reading is a poem written by Luca Wolf, who's also from my church, but unfortunately, he couldn't be with us today. Every night, we had circle time where we processed our daily experiences and wrote in our journals about our own personal discoveries. These circles tended to get deep and emotional, but on our last night together, Luca took the circle time to a whole new level. They know. He was quietly listening to everyone and then raised his hand to talk and shared that he had written a poem while listening to everyone. It was titled, I Am Here. Let his words fill your heart with the importance of not missing opportunities to be fully present in each moment. Tomorrow, I will go home and sleep. Yesterday, I woke up, I worked until I collapsed. In 1 week, I'll be working tirelessly. 1 week ago, I said something stupid and hurt someone. In 1 month, I will be sleeping for hours upon hours to recover from school. In 1 month, I was sucked into others' lives and stolen from one chaotic, beautiful life. In 1 year, I will miss this. I will reminisce and regret not enjoying what was there. 1 year ago, I yearned for this feeling. I knew something was missing. But tonight, I am here, fully and with the stars in the sky and the people around me. I am here. I am not today. I am not a week or a month or a year. I am here. Fully and wholly, I am here. Let's rise in body or in spirit to sing our reflection hymn, number 121, We'll Build a Land.
This all so morning.
Our second reading comes from Adrienne Marie Brown. We are fractals, each of us a tiny reflection of a larger whole. What we do at the smallest scale ripples outward. A kind word, a brave act, a repair to the neighbor's roof, none of it is small. Every decision is a chance to shape the world we want. The web of existence isn't an abstract idea. It's your breath, the soil, the hands that held you, and the lives you touch. In the web, nothing stands alone.
Hi, my name is Sorry. Hi. My name is Silas Taylor. Going on this trip for the first time really opened my eyes to a way bigger picture. I didn't know what to feel about going to West Virginia at first, and I had no idea what I was diving into. I didn't have any strong connections with anyone also. On the day we departed, I wasn't necessarily ready. I had barely any sleep, and all I wanted was a minute alone. Less than halfway through, though, I was shifted from being bored and irritated out of my mind to being amused from talking to people in my van and listening to music. By the time we got there, I was a bit more excited to be there. I felt a little bit more comfortable. The first day was obviously short and simple, just unpacking and addressing the ground rules for this trip. Every night, we would have a period called circle time, where we all come together and express their experiences for the day to others. After the first circle time, I had already made goals, and I felt like I had a spot in this group. My personal goal was to learn about the people we were going to be taking care of and the people where we stayed at. My personal goal, besides that, was to get to make stronger connections with the people who were along with me on the trip. I made a new friend along with the friend I already had, and we spent a lot of time together throughout the trip. On the second day, the real first day, before we left, we met someone who was coming along to help us work. His name was Greg. At first, I was purely judging off looks. He looked like a redneck and had a really strong accent. I assumed he'd be all cranky at the house we worked at and very demanding. He introduced himself to us and immediately stated how happy it made him to see all of us ready to help out. He mentioned women for a second, seeming like he was going to say something sexist. They can't do the hard stuff like men. But he said quite the opposite, surprising me a little. He stated how they can be real hard workers and even sometimes better than boys. What I'm saying is he was very kind and inclusive to everyone. When we got to the house, I had no idea where to start, what to do. Greg gave me something to do all day. For me, that was weed whacking, afterwards, painting, and then clearing up a shed with my friends. He directed me to every task, and I thank him for that. For every task, he asked kindly and didn't demand. He was patient and wasn't snappy. On the last couple talks we had with the Meeks, who we were working with on the trip, we got to learn more about Greg. He had told us how he ditched his education for work and has always been working since he was very young, which is why he strongly advised to stay in school right now, because we have something that he never will, and that's the education and knowledge we have at this age. Greg didn't get that. While at our age, we study for the next quiz or do our homework, he never did that. He worked and worked all he could since he had to. I grew to view Greg as a role model because with all of his experience and hardships in life, he still manages to keep patience and compassion for others. I aspire to be someone like Greg, a hard worker with a big heart. It turned out Greg showed me how to reach my own personal goal that set out first in night and circle. To be strong and a hard worker, but also make everyone know that you have a heart and mind too. Finally, I am beyond grateful for what this trip has taught me. If I hadn't spent time truly listening to Greg and seeing the man behind my initial stereotypes, I would have missed the opportunity to connect with someone who turned out to be a role model for me. I try to be less judgmental now, for how you can never judge somebody only for their looks, for they themselves can be remarkable.
Hi, my
My name is Lo Taylor, and this year was my first ever time going on this trip, and most definitely not the last. On this trip, I got to understand who I'm surrounding myself with, and I got to really understand this world and how cruel and beautiful it can truly be. As someone who's been really dependent on my mom and other people these past couple years, doing this trip was a big challenge for me. I've always been overly anxious about being away from home, especially now. So being told I was going to be 7 hours away from home for an entire week sounded insane to me. And leading up to this trip, I would panic about how much I didn't want to go. But when I got there, I couldn't find anything to be afraid of. It was weird. The night before, I was crying, and the next, I'm having the time of my life. I wanted to prove my mom wrong, that I was going to hate it. But when the end rolled around, I wanted to go back and do it all over again with this new mindset. I also had a bit of freedom on what I wanted to do on the work site. I mostly painted and worked on the garden. Personally, I am a firm believer in the buddy system, so I did a lot of partner jobs or group jobs. I liked that there was something for everyone there. There were people cutting wood to replace broken boards for the house, and then there were painters, people using lawnmowers and weed whackers, and people just picking up trash or scraps of metal. I was expecting hour after hour of straight labor, but I was wrong. After the work site, which we usually left around 4, we would just go to the South Folklife Center and hang out. Most days we did activities, like going to a waterfall, square dancing, and zip lining. I bonded with so many people I never even expected to have friendly conversation with, and I'm surprised at just how many connections I had made. Now, it wasn't completely sunshine and rainbows. There were certainly times where I found it hard to stay positive, because I miss my mom so much. But being with so many amazing people really uplifted me. This group of people are genuinely so caring and comforting to be around. Joining the youth group this year is something I'm so glad I got to do. And I'm so very excited to keep staying involved in our youth group. Woody and Carlina, the people we were helping, were such generous and kind people who have had very difficult lives. Actually meeting people who have gone through that era of extreme bigotry and hatred was pretty bizarre. Getting to hear their stories was a privilege. It was unbelievable what I'd heard from them. All my life, I've been educated about racism and abuse, but talking to people who have dealt with it firsthand was a change. I would have never expected anything that they told us. Some things they told us were scary to me, and I was telling myself, I don't want to hear about this. But then after giving it some thought, it's good to understand the bad. Learning about history is very important, even if it makes you a bit uncomfortable at first. Carlina was raised in an abusive household, and to get away, she married Woody when they were both very young. Together, they were able to break the cycle and build a family free of violence. And in the 1960s, love and nonviolence were an act of revolution. Together, they learned how to unlearn generational abuse and bigotry, replacing what they had learned with an open mind and loving heart. To say that they were an inspiration to me isn't enough. I don't know how to put into words what I've learned from these amazing 4 days with them. It's crazy to think that you never actually know someone until you hear their stories. Stories are the most cherished thing in the universe and can connect people in so many different ways, and they remind us that we're all a part of the same human family. I want to thank you. This life-changing experience wouldn't have been possible without you all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Good morning, everyone. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Phoenix Davis, and I'm a UUYJ member. On our first night in West Virginia, we all gathered in the dining hall of the Appalachian South Folklife Center to outline some personal questions we would be working to answer during the trip. A question that I wrote down and that I thought about throughout the whole week was, what can I do personally to help the people here and this place? A little later in the trip, a few of us went into the city of Princeton to attend an open mic of local poetry and music at a little coffee shop downtown. The main street was lined with murals and local businesses, with a few families and individuals out enjoying the night. At the open mic itself, there were people of all ages and backgrounds, and there was a strong sense of community throughout. But we were told it hadn't always been like that. We were told that just a few years ago, that very main street had been just a hollow shell. I was even told later by a ziplining guide and a Princeton native that downtown Princeton had been considered an unpleasant area rampant with crime, the sort of place he described as somewhere you wouldn't want to be alone at night. Throughout the trip, we also had a lot of conversations with the couple who owned the house we were working on. Woody, the husband, told us some stories of his childhood throughout the week. He described how his father and grandfather had been glaringly racist and how the area he had grown up in had been influenced by forces like the KKK. His grandfather was actually a member, with racial prejudice and violence rampant. But evidently, that didn't carry on to Woody, who seemed accepting and even progressive in comparison to the home he grew up in. So, in these two stories, what went so right? Well, in Princeton, just a few shops focused on local art and music moved back onto that main street. That started a chain reaction, with more businesses and artists quickly following, until downtown became as vibrant as it was when we visited. With this new development, that crime and the safety issues faded or moved elsewhere. In Woody's story, despite the racist beliefs that surrounded him, he had a small community that challenged those ideas. Whenever Woody's father would express his prejudices around him, his mother would shut him up and encourage Woody to pursue a more accepting path. Woody had mentioned how as a kid, he had had a black school bus driver who had been one of the kindest people Woody had known, which had broke through those prior beliefs even further. Maybe in these stories, we can find an answer to that question I proposed earlier. In the end, what revived downtown Princeton and helped keep Woody on a path of kindness and acceptance were surprisingly similar. They were helped by simply being exposed to a few good influences. Either business owners taking the first small step in reopening downtown, or just by being exposed to a few community members who are more diverse and more accepting than was normal in that time and place. When we open ourselves up to others and step into community, we start to see the world not as a set of separate lives, but as one big, beautiful web. Imperfect, yes. Torn in places, yes. But also strong and mended every day by people willing to reach out their hands and do the work. So, when we ask the question, what can I do personally to help the people here in this place, whether it's in rural Appalachia or right here, maybe the answer is that we simply need to do good and be kind and let those acts ripple out through the world around us. Thank you.
As we each light a candle and speak a word of identity or experience that exists in our world, we recognize that our diversity is not what divides us, it's what strengthens our shared commitment to compassion and justice in the interconnected web we all belong to.
Cis.
Neurodivergent.
Unitarian. Progressive.
Immigrant.
Even in difference, there is light. Even in conflict, there is worth. Even in challenge, there is connection. And through this unity, we commit to listening deeply, honoring every voice and every story within our interconnected web of life.
Good morning. My name is Ellen McWilliams Woods, and thank you. And I have the incredible pleasure to serve as the co-advisor of this amazing group of youth. Aren't they something? I routinely say that if all of the adults in this world would quiet themselves a bit and lean in and listen to our young people, we could actually solve every issue and problem we have in the world. I am here with my 26-year-old daughter, Bailey, who lives in Chicago, who also served as an advisor on this trip. She has been on many of these trips with me. I think this is my 15th, and she, as well as my other daughter, who also surprised me and came in from Chicago today to be here. We have done this type of work for years. And I was so thrilled that Bailey was able to join and support these amazing group of youth. Our youth group had these transformational experiences that you heard about due to the generous support from our entire congregation. In that same spirit of giving, our community thrives when we each participate in the circle of giving and receiving. June's special offering, that's funny. After a week with 22 kids, June's special offering this month will benefit Camp Lilac, which is an overnight summer camp in Ohio for transgender and gender diverse youth. Just as you have supported our youth group's week-long experience, please give generously for trans youth to also have a safe and affirming experience. If you would like your offering this morning to go to that special collection, please write special collection on the memo line of your check or on the envelope. If you're giving electronically, the instructions will appear on the screen.
It is a tradition for UUYJ to show pictures of our trip during the offering to enable you all to dive a little deeper into our experiences for a few minutes. The song that is playing with the slideshow is called Copperhead Road by Steve Earle. We were introduced to this song and artist by Woody Meeks, whose home we worked on. We understand it's probably not like normal practice to play a song that talks about moonshine in church. But Woody explained that this song represents the fight against oppression, against power driving poverty, against sending young people who are poor and young to war, and against the forces within our country that are responsible for the Appalachian region's desperate situation. The song is so powerful for people like Woody and others who have lived through generational oppression that the song actually was selected as one of Tennessee's official state songs. In honor of Woody and Carlina and our trans community that are at the center of our country's oppressive forces today, and in gratitude for the gift of one another and this community, we now give and receive the offering.
Hi, my name is Evian Rome, and I'm a graduate of UUYJ and served as an intern this year. As our service comes to an end, to its close, will you join me in these words for extinguishing the chalice? Well, the chalice seems like it's already extinguished. There's few words on the screen. Our time, this place may have ended, but our connection to each other in this community remains. Together we may walk through the path of justice, speak words of love, keep our selfless deeds, travel along the earth, and fill the world with compassion until we meet again. Blessed be. Let's rise in body or in spirit to sing together an important song we listen to each day as we drove through the stunning Appalachian Mountains on our way to our work site. Take
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. There's old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like trees. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning hour. She calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down that road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, down country roads, take me home. Down country roads. My name is Raphael Gregorius, and I am a member of UUYJ. And now, as we depart, let us embrace the words from Reverend Soto. This is the hour of change, and within it, we carry our tools: compassion, courage, and clarity. With these, we dismantle what harms and build what heals. The work is not always glamorous. It is often muddy, sweaty, complicated. But it is holy. And when we come together, youth and elders, workers and dreamers, we find that service is not what we give, it is what we become. Amen.